I just posted Mother Teresa on my Facebook. It's a face for Tiferet. Probably, because once upon a time God told me I would go down that path when I was alone and isolated and starving in my kitchen talking to God. You know, my average day. Like, you'll be a Mother Teresa. And I go, I don't even like people. How could I ever be a Mother Teresa if I don't like people? I love kids. Fuck it. Kids are great. Just more the girls than the boys, but like I'll deal with the boys too, with sports and stuff. But man, some little boys don't like sports. Crystal grids and stuff like that, you know. It's really hard. So, all that backstabbing energy you guys send me is now being turned to flower planting. You want to backstab me? Flower planting. That's your punishment. That's your karma. Anytime you want to come after me or attack me in other ways, vegetable planting and farming. 500 years. You want to throw an axe at me? 500 years of vegetable farming. This is in the astral planes. ... with a Hierophant energy attached to it. And in the physical. You guys want to be violent pieces of crap with me? Thinking you're going to get away with it? That's the beauty in the beast cursing. Not only will you probably get arrested if you do anything to me physically, but you'll also be condemned to like 500 years of karma. And that's what karma is, dudes. Yeah, but planting tomatoes for 500 years. Until you learn your lesson to not attack saints or masters. So in Tiferet, instead of just slaughtering them, you know, we Beauty and the Beast curse it. Like Jesus. So it's like mommy grounding children. I like the we do not use transfiguration as a punishment. I will if I have to. You want to call me a snake? I'll transfigure you into a monkey. At least in the astral planes. Still Beauty and the Beast cursing, because you guys have to learn your lessons. It's still cruel. So, Tiferet, until you're in my position, where you've done 40,000 hours or more of Kabbalah work, study, prayer, meditation, connection to God, etc., etc. You guys aren't allowed to attack. You can write letters and tell me all your problems with me. But, you know, make them honest, where you're being honest with yourself about what it is. And I'm usually pretty nice. Yeah, Yeah, if you guys are still lying to yourselves, which all of you are, believe me. If you guys are still lying to yourselves, there's a problem. So let's just start this off with this. The Practicruelty book. It's practical and it's cruel. Both at the same time. Your life story goes in here. All the victim shit. Everything. The first time you saw your dad's penis and it was like, ugh, disgusting. Mom's, everything. All the astral rape or, the thoughts, everything. Everything. In 30 hours, mine's like this. There is no problem too great or too small to go in this book at all. It's all therapy. So this is, I walked down the street and I got this recycled book for £2. All right. So try to make this journey as harmless on the planet and yourself, but think of the planet before yourself first. Thank you. This is your magic. We have to do this in Dimensional Mastery. We spend an entire week, at least 30 hours, writing our entire life story down. Everyone. And now I'm doing it again, Age 4. My mom rips my arm out of my socket and lets me cry and cry and cry for days. Not even Kathy, my nanny, cares or listens. They let me suffer. It took how many days before they took me to the hospital to even get my arm popped back in? So, everything. That was age 4. And I have, I have very few memories from when I'm young. But it's mostly the trauma I remember for a reason. Okay? So you're writing down everything. How you felt, how alone you were, how disconnected you were, how much you it didn't matter how nice you were, people would start throwing shit at you and label you and do crazy shit. All the cheating on tests that you did, write that down. All the crappy things you fucking did, write it down, because you're going to have to learn how to forgive yourself. And it might actually send other people healing energy when you write it down in the book. I'm not going to admit somebody's interpretation of something crappy that I did to them, because I don't think it was that crappy. I think it was wisdom. But they think it's crappy, so I'll still write it down and send them healing energy anyway. Sometimes punching a bully in the face is not crappy. It's karma. But if you want to stab somebody like me in the gut because I call myself Khaleesi and you have no idea that I'm just a fucking saint, then there's a fucking issue. Because I say Lucifer is my Drogon because I'm actually Hiccup. Then you guys have serious self-deception, lies, narcissism, no love. No understanding and no intuition, because you can't see all the saint planetary grids I'm putting on everywhere. and all the healing energy I send out, and all the responsibilities I have to take on as an Archangel Kamael in training. Plus, you also have to make a dragon be your Drogon if you're ever going to be an Archangel Kamael in training, because that's a seraphim thing. You have to like master the dragons to even alpha the dragons. So why would you ever in a million years decide that you're going to shoot or stab a Khaleesi in the gut because you think you're somehow better than them or more entitled than them? It's insanity. See, my brain runs in just as fast and clear as crazy Carrie's. So this is when we talk about. I was asked by a Scientologist to do this video, and I was going to name it the Practicruelty book. And I know that most of Scientology, a lot of it is like this stuff, like going clear, letting go of any emotional like attachment to the traumas of your past, or present or future. And that component of Scientology, I love. I have so much reverence for it. The idea of actually going clear and having the heart beauty come through is like, yeah, that's right. I have nothing against it. Okay. I get it. So, but we do this in dimensional mastery, and then we throw it into the fire instead of holding on to it. And we throw it in the fire as if the fire of divinity clears it and heals it and makes it go away. So, I was asked by the Scientologist, I would love your outlook on life as a whole. Okay. Life fucking sucks. It's a series of challenges and tests from God to evolve into a master. That's my outlook on life as a whole. Most people fail with everything. Most people don't even want to do the work. Like the masters on Masterclass are all like pieces of shit, really. Those master classes are so boring. Some of them are really nice. Like Judy Bloom's is like really nice. Chris Voss's had some really nice information. They all have some nice information that come through. But it's really insulting and really boring that none of them would even have the audacity to ever say hi to me or write me an email and just even acknowledge that I exist and have the audacity to ever call themselves a master. None of them are teaching Kabbalah. None of them even like mention, real virtues or vices and how to ascend the tree of life into the God form. So interrupted all the time. Sorry, guys. My outlook on life as a whole is this. You guys want to do none of the work and you want all of the rewards. You guys don't want to work and 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 work. And that's the real energy of what it would take to do anything sophisticated. Just endless work. Work for free. Work. Work, give, 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 give. Because now at Tiferet, we've ascended selflessness. We might be still stuck in pride as we work through it. But by now, like if you have pride about being like anything, being young, being old, being beautiful, being ugly, being anything. If you have pride, man, you're just going to be stuck in Tiferet. Being pride for being poor. I'm not really pride. Like that's at this point, it's a responsibility. It's like not even a pride. That's that chip on the shoulder, you know? Being proud of just being an assistant instead of being a boss, you know? Just that's pride. That's a fucking chip on the shoulder. Being proud of being a boss. I still have to battle my pride for being a Kabbalah teacher. But then there's actually some beauty to it too. So, you know, there's that component. And you know how I know that there's beauty that comes through? Because I can feel the light come through my heart. Now that's the beauty. So my outlook on life as a whole, man, your journey as a master is to transform into a witch. What else are masters, dude? They can manipulate all elements. They have a cleaner connection to God than anything and everything, and they know everything and nothing, you know, because they're still on their journey. What else is mastery? You work with the elements, you work with intelligence, and you ascend. So Simon likes to argue with me. He's like, why are you so focused on the mystical arts magic component of divinity? And I go, that is divinity. It's actually a type of yoga. If you take the magic away from God, then there's nothing left. So at the highest component, God is definitely a wizard. At the highest component, God is definitely a witch. You know? Hi. Hello. You have to believe in God to be in Tiferet. Because you have to believe in miracles. You have to believe in witchcraft. You have to believe. How else are you going to do it? So my outlook on life as a whole is the growth and learning experiences that help you ascend into the higher intelligence. And I want to say ascent in a decent way. That's more decent. Like, how do I do it from my physical incarnation? In my lowest of low selves. So that. All right. Life as a whole. It's a fucking shitstorm. Do you see this planet? So I'm really happy I started this Kabbalah class off with the Malkuth, with the biggest little farm. Because I think it's going to take at least 7 years to make me feel like this component of my ascent into witchdom will like stop looking like a shitstorm and start looking more masterful. So this is kind of like the documentation of it. And maybe you guys can enjoy the ride and ascend yourselves into more masterful witchdom. So why are we here? I just explained. Why else? We're star seeds, angels, dragon people. You know, we're beings of higher intelligence that incarnated on really crappy, muggly reptile bodies, and we're learning how to transmute it from the inside out, along with transmuting the planet from the inside out. That's why we're here. There's no other reason. Oh, there might be this reason. So in the heaven realms, right, which we're bringing Earth into the heaven, right? So we're going to live on the Garden of Eden, and it's going to be like Harry Potter houses. You still have the Netsock people that are full with pride. Those are the Slytherins, and they're pieces of shit. So now that those people still have access to then create planets and worlds that might have people that are reptilian muggles that are disconnected from God because those reptile asshole Slytherin wizards created that shit. And that's what we're here as Gryffindor people to then go rescue rescue all of those planets that those Slytherin assholes created. Does that make sense? Because when you're in heaven and you have access to create worlds and realities, that's, you know, sometimes that's what's created, and that sucks. It makes sense, right? Why? Because they're dicks. They don't care about creating, you know, worlds or systems where people get, you know, stomped on or screwed because they're Slytherins, you know. Some Slytherins are good. So where did we come from? So if you're an angel, you'll have memories of heaven. If you're just an ET with heaven, like angel energy, then you might remember like planets and star systems that were more enlightened, but not necessarily like heaven. So like I have lifetimes, you know, but I also have like heaven remembrances. And it's just constant. Okay. Where are we going? Bring heaven to earth. That's where we're going. We are transmuting this planet and ascending it into the divine. The higher divine, though. Not the gross divine. Creating the Garden of Eden on earth. All right, what's our purpose for being on Earth? I think I just said it. Who are the evil people I should stay away from? Man, that's a tough question. Okay, number one, the evil you see in other people is going to mirror the evil in yourself. And when you see, it doesn't mean that you're like evil. It's a component of you that is evil. Okay. If somebody's making you sick constantly and it's just breaking down your body and you can't even handle it to exist, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a medicine that will break down all of your karma so you don't have to transmute shit in the future. Or maybe you need to go heal yourself. So it's like your choice and your discernment. Like, what karma am I going to burn? Or what, like, do I need to heal myself instead? And that's a question, because then you have to take into account every action you do and how it reconciles with the planet. Like, am I an asset to the planet or a detriment or a liability? So you still have to take those things into account. And like, who are the evil, like, you could just stay away from me. Like, man, the evil people I should stay, like, try not to make friends with pedophiles and vampires that are like gonna suck your blood and like make sure your kids gets like hurt, you know? That like it's such a hard question to ask. You know, evil people, that there are great people in the church, kinda, you know. And then there are like gross people in the church, you know, like, so it's really hard to point out very specific people. So you're going to have to learn how to trust yourself and like have discernment over like, yeah, that person's great. That one's not. Generally speaking, I have no life. Some people would consider that to be evil. My life is meditation, grid setting, prayers, making sure like this ascension will be clean and nobody gets hurt as much as possible. And the way that I do that, some people might look at it as crazy or gross. So, you know, or evil. The real people that are evil that you should stay away from are probably Bible thumpers that are going to burn witches. People that are like outwardly awful. Like outwardly. Stuff like that. Okay? That's the practical answer. That might be the good one. But, you know, there are nice Christians that, like, understand all this stuff, too. We'll see. But, like, maybe there are good ones. Try to hang around smarter people. Smarter people generally will, like, calculate. They might say not politically correct things, but they might have, like, wisdom attached to it. And they might be able to like understand different scenarios that most people would never even take into account. And it's just nice to listen to and help you make decisions because you have new perspectives or insights. You don't have to agree with them, but you do have to like listen and see and like go, I found a flaw in that, or I like, so you develop an eye-to-eye connection instead of like, you stink, like that kind of thing. It's a really babying answer, but it's true. Who else do I think you shouldn't stay away? Like if I was honest, like I think there are 5 decent people on this planet, and then 50, maybe 50 more decent people on this planet. Because everybody else is just lying to themselves and stuck in the matrix. Even all the witches that are witches, they're just like matrixy witches. And it's like, it's not that great. Maybe like 500 decent people. And then the like, maybe 1,000. Like, just so we understand. All right. What does your day, or who are the people here to help us? I am, but you know, again, I could also be the asshole, evil person that you should stay away from. So, it's just how you want to point of view your life. Who are the people here to help us? . My boyfriend helps me because he offers me a place to live while I do this class. Some people offer me a home in case this doesn't work out. And like, they're pretty cool. Who are here to help us? I'm still waiting to see people who are here to help me even free some whales. And the answer to that question is probably going to be those people. Because they can see, and they can see there's an issue. And the people that still just can't understand why the whales would be more important than humans have a problem. Because if the humans are still slaughtering everything on the planet and the whales are trapped being tortured, that's an issue. Because, you know, humans care about rescuing other humans, but the humans aren't really concerned that much about freeing some whales. So that's the blind spot in their brains. That's where you have to, you know, the selfless, transcend selfless. Like, if you still have a pride attached to being a human over the need of a whale, which is actually innocent and can't do anything for itself, right? And you can't tell the difference. Like, it's my priorities in life is to heal the rape slave trade and make sure that doesn't exist on the planet, and freeing the whales and taking care of the environment and ecosystem. So it's mostly like people that just cannot do anything for themselves, okay? Because like they're kids or so it's innocent people, okay? So the people that kind of resonate like that might be the ones that are here to help us. Like, if I have to choose over 5 kids getting raped versus some arrogant man that has no care left, I'm going to choose the kids. I'm going to make sure that those kids are going to be okay. It doesn't matter if it's their past life. All past life stuff is forgiven in my ball game with the kids and the animals. Because if you're an adult and you send me psychic attack, it's just to a farm. What does your day-to-day spiritual practice look like? I think I just said that. It's constantly traveling the astral planes, doing meditation work, being very real about the state of the planet. So the astral planes don't look that much better than the state of the planet. That's where you guys are really, really out of sorts. The higher astral planes look fine. But the ones that are like in Yesod for this planet, they look like shit. Which is why the planet looks like shit. So if you're astral traveling to like other planets and other star systems and everything's nice and everything, that's great. Why don't you guys do some work on like cleaning out the astral planes for Earth? Or is that too hard? And if it's too hard, why are you guys a master? How can you even be a witch if you can't even clean out the astral planes for Earth? You guys are going to need a clean Yesod to be a witch on this planet. What is my day-to-day spiritual, like meditation, grid, find out from Lucifer and Dino Star and God and whoever else, every shitty grid everything I still haven't done better. Like every inch that still sucks, every cheat, because things that I'm refusing to get done thoroughly. Everything is just constant. Just never ending. So I develop a little patience in Tiferet because I understand how never ending it is. Not to the point where I don't do the work, but to the point where I do the work with some perspective. You have no story. At the end of the day, I'm just a gnome. That's why I can do this video. In all things great and small, I see the beauty of the divine expression. I'm just a gnome. I'm officially now a Hufflepuff squib gnome. And then, in Kabbalah 99 3/4, I'll be, at this point, in Tiferet, and I'll be a Hufflepuff vampire witch. Where I'm vampiring God, source, right? To bring in all the new grids for the planet. Just that level. And then in Kabbalah 300 and maybe 400, an elf. And that's the teachings of alignment. Truth and alignment. Man. And then maybe in Kabbalah 400, maybe in Kabbalah 800, if I receive the actual elven initiations, and I can actually do Kabbalah 800, which will be a 300-year Kabbalah program. This is all like, as long, maybe if you guys don't kill me, maybe I can teach 300-year Kabbalah program, and then we do the fairy one. That would be rad. All right, so now we understand Kabbalah. So who are the people here to help us? Just think, God people. Humble God people. People that is like Gandalf, like the nice, gentle acts of love and kindness. They might be the crappy assholes that decide to be your apprentice. They might be your personal assistant. They might be the woman that you just served ice cream to that was like, yeah, you're kind of rad. Okay? So, they're God people. You'll see it in the third eye, and you'll see it in the soul. In all things great and small, I see the beauty of the divine expression. Write down your story, and you have no story, because we're going to burn it. This makes everything go away. No, but maybe it makes you come to terms with it. Maybe it offers healing. All right, Kali Ren, out.